هي
En miehet! Mitäs tässä on? Deal.
Is haar niks verder?
The palace grounds are choked with Sobek's dead.
Did you see? In the pool, human body parts used to lure the crocodiles. Oh, what horror!
But why?
Oh, who knows why evildoers do evil? I came just in time to see two people loading bodies onto boats and riding away.
I will put a stop to this mischief.
Of course you will. And as your loyal companion, I will point you toward the mischief makers. One went toward the palace, and the other was headed for the mummification temple. Here is half my pay, as promised. I will meet you back at my boat!
She is dumping body parts into the river to attract the crocodiles. Scum responsible for the crocodile attacks. Sobek's children will be more peaceful now.
Is that him?
Could not be, could it? Oh gods, it is.
You're either very brave or very foolish, setting foot back here.
Nefertari, isn't it? 1,000 blessings are long overdue.
Bastard! Naked Eadet! That was Rujek's wife. Did you expect anything less? This way, Bayek. And bring along your 1,000 blessings. You will need them.
I feel bad for her. But it had to be done.
You look well. Better than the last time I found you. Are you just better at killing now?
Rujek was only the beginning.
Yes, your hunt. The Heron.
Where are you taking me?
To make amends with Anubis.
Amends? I do not know what you're talking about.
Of course. How could you? You left the moment you woke. You know all the natron for Egypt is collected here. We send it mostly to Memphis, to cover the bodies of the dead.
Look.
Natron has other uses, though. I could use it to disinfect a wound. Or wash the stains of blood off my hands, for example. It looks better, Neb. I will have one of my aides bring something for the pain.
And my brother?
Recovering. He needs rest.
You do not need to remind me. Why are so many of your people ailing?
Because Anubis is displeased. Ever since you left, the torches by his shrines have lost their flame. We are no longer protected.
From what? The wrath of Anubis?
Whatever it is, we have suffered grave injuries trying to reignite them. Some have even vanished. It has become clear that Anubis demands your appeal and yours alone.
I'll ignite the torches and end this curse, or omen, or whatever it is.
You would do well to, if you ever hope to appease Anubis and gain my pardon. Sophia, give some frankincense to the men at the pool, would you? I don't need to tell you to be careful. There are 3 shrines. One to the south, one atop the natural well, and one inside the bent pyramid. You know your way to that one.
ce YouTube.
Hein? C'est l'autre hérésie, shit.
One of the torches of Anubis should be here. This torch has fallen over. Where's the head? This fence is broken. Was there a struggle? There is blood here. Someone fell, or was pushed. Atari was not exaggerating. This one died trying to light the torch. There's the torch head. It must have fallen from the ledge when the torch was tipped over. Charms. This should do it. All I need to do now is light it. Gatekeeper of the Duat, I honor your name.
No, out! Out!
Whoa. Whoa. A shrine. One of the torches must be here. Blood on these linens. Someone hung these. Charms of Anubis. Someone has put these here, but why? Gatekeeper of the Duat, I honor your name. That was no simple task. There are other forces at work here. Oh, this rotting meat gives off an attractive stench. Someone luring predators here. Whoa. Gatekeeper of the Duat, I honor your name. That is the last torch. I should return to Nefertari. Whoa.
No mess. Right decision, Gere.
What news do you bring?
The torches burn with a relentless flame.
Then I pray Anubis will grant us pardon.
There were charms left beside each one. Does that mean anything to you?
Beside the torches,
Most likely to ward off the omen.
I will keep my eyes open. In the meantime, some rebels nearby need treatment. I normally make the trips, but I am needed here. Sufia has offered to go in my place, but only if you escort her.
It will be done.
Bayek, I hope this hunt of yours ends soon. Before you cannot return from what you have become.
Look at this. Chúa gan ni. Chỉ mới rồi.
Have you gone to see Sofia? She will be waiting for you by the knock.
Good to see you, Namrud.
Nefertari sent reinforcements, I see.
His name is Bayek, a dear friend of Nefertari's. I've asked him to come along and he graciously accepted.
I suppose we all do.
I hear you are in some trouble. I owe a favor to Nefertari.
If it's as you say, follow me and stay close. We've got quite a journey ahead.
Whoa. Yeah.
The path to the mine was clear, but that doesn't mean it will be on the way back. Be ready for anything.
You seem uneasy, Namrud. Why the hesitance?
I don't like straying from the plan. These lands are teeming with dangers. Bandits, soldiers, the wild. It's why we make the trips at night. Helps avoid trouble.
Where are you camped?
In an abandoned fort to the west. Our point of retreat.
Retreat from what?
An attack on a nearby encampment. There were more soldiers than we thought. Lost a lot of good men.
How many wounded?
Enough. That's why being close to the mine is so important. The healers work wonders. We are lucky Nefertari allows these deals. She has a pure heart, risks her neck. The mine belongs to the regime after all. We should be out of harm's way once we cross that bridge. This is it. When we get inside, I will need your help to tend to the wounded while Sofia prepares the natron. I pray we have not lost more men.
I will set up. Bayek, follow Namrud. He will show you what to do.
These men, move them to the rear, by the kilns. This way, we will line them up. It will be easier for Sofia.
Your band is much smaller than I imagined.
Small, but united. We fight for one another. I am merely one of them, spared by the gods this time.
cold. I am so cold.
Their wounds are severe, but they'll live if Sufia is anything like Nefertari.
You and Nefertari are old friends.
Something like that. She saved my life after I killed Rudjek.
You are the one that killed Rudjek, huh? I cannot believe it. By the gods, the brazier! The fire will alert the regime!
Spread out!
They have found us!
Archers! Ready your arrows! Kill the wounded last! It is useless to fight! You are outmatched! Lay down your weapons, and we will make it quick!
I would rather stick my sword down your throat.
Those who oppose Ptolemy's reign, die!
Those who fight me die.
This one fights alongside these rebels! A fool's choice!
Alarm! Over here!
Got you!
It's Sufia. She lit the brazier. Why would she draw the soldiers to us? I will go check on the others. Go do something about Sufia. Sufia is the one responsible for this. She is by the brazier.
No! Stay away from me!
Talk! The omens. It was you. Why?
Rujek, I loved him! He promised me a better life! You took him from me!
Now I see. You're Rudjek's mistress. Well, your fucking lava killed my son! I feel nothing for you!
You are meant to die! Ah!
What a shame. Such a pretty girl. There's no room for pretty in our war.
Death drives us to do things we regret.
She tricked us both.
Your men?
The pile of dead gets bigger. We will treat the survivors. No time to fetch another healer.
Clear off!
Slaughter every last one of
Get
these
ready
dogs!
to move out. These vermin will be on the lookout.
Should be more. Get in there! Release me! I'll wet my feet with their blood!